Hi guys, this is to go over the kindergarten through second grade rubric to make it into the storytelling festival. Alright, so what you want to do in order to be included in the festival. For story structure, plot, your story needs to have a clear beginning, middle, and end. You have to make sense and you have to be able to remember your story while you're telling it. Okay? For point 2, story structure, characters, and setting. The storyteller describes the setting where their characters are. The story has a few good characters who help us understand it. Expressive voice. The storyteller has used pitch, high and low, tempo, fast and slow, volume, loud or soft, to make their story more interesting. That's what you need to do. Point 4, eye contact, body awareness, and pacing. The student is aware of their body and can focus on the camera while telling the story. Good pacing equals parts do not drag on too long or go by too quickly so that the audience either loses interest or can't understand what's happening. I want to know what's happening, and if it's going too slow or too fast, then I can't follow it, and that's not a good story. Okay? Practice. So I just want to see that you've been practicing. If you've been practicing, then you're going to make it in. So it's clear that the student has practiced their story, received feedback, and made improvements that have helped make the story more engaging. Students need to practice 2 times on Flipgrid at least, or equivalent would be emailing videos to Mrs. Dunlap, and then received and implemented feedback. So all of those things are what you need to do to make it into the storytelling festival. So you need to practice, you need to have an expressive voice, your story has to have a beginning, middle, and end. It needs to have clear characters, and I want to see your eye contact, your body awareness, and your pacing with the video, okay? Now here's what you don't want to do. I'm going to tell you what you don't want to do, and I'll demonstrate a little bit. So, story does not have a clear structure, lacks some or all of the key plot features, that is beginning, middle, or end. And or the storyteller sounds like they are just rambling or making it up as they go. Point 2, the storyteller does not describe the setting. This gives the listener an unclear picture of where and when things are taking place. The characters don't make sense, or there are too many to follow clearly. Expressive voice. The student's voice is flat and boring as they speak. Eye contact, body awareness, and pacing. The student is distracted or wiggly as they're telling the story. Their eyes are focused somewhere else in the room that is not their audience, the camera. Pacing drags on too long or goes by too quickly so the audience either loses interest or can't understand what's happening. There may be long breaks between the parts as the student remembers what comes next. So what I don't want to see is I don't want to see you telling your story over here when your camera is right here. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right, the last thing I want to see is that you have practiced. If you haven't practiced and if you haven't implemented feedback, if you've never submitted a Flipgrid practice, or you've only submitted once and you haven't taken the feedback into heart, then that is not going to get you into the storytelling festival. So hopefully those things make sense, and I can't wait to hear your stories. Happy practicing.